トファイター4を作る
When we first were developing regular Street Fighter 4, we were pretty confident we'd given people the complete package, you know, the hamburger, fries, the drink. We thought we'd given it all to them. But the good thing about having millions of people play your game over a long period of time is you start to notice things that even R&D was unaware of. You know, they found a few exploits here and there, a few combos that R&D wasn't even aware, you know, that we were able to link these moves together. So this is a really good opportunity to kind of address those issues, but at the same time it is Super Street Fighter 4, so we're not dealing with a minor update. So rather than just minor balance adjustments, we're also going to add plenty of new moves and new ways to play, and really kind of change up the way the game feels to a degree, so it really feels like you're playing a new version of Street Fighter 4. So basically, we're looking to give all the characters in the game a little something new and different to do. You know, whether it be a new move or the way their move moves across the screen, or the amount of frames it takes to execute, things like that. The problem is, once you do something like that, once you make some small adjustment, you have to look at the entire game again from a balance point of view and make sure that everything's kosher. Speaking a bit about some of the returning characters, as you now know, T-Hawk and DJ will be making their return. These are characters that we had originally considered putting in regular Street Fighter 4, but things got down to the wire and they were just kind of difficult to get in there and balance with all the other characters. Now, in addition to that, there's going to be a lot of other returning characters. So, the whole theme of Super Street Fighter 4 is responding to the wishes of the fans and then responding to their requests. So you will definitely see a lot more returning characters this time out. I'll tell you a little bit about this new character, Judy. She's really unique in the Street Fighter universe. She represents a couple of firsts. One, she's the first Korean character we've had in the Street Fighter game. And second, she's the first Taekwondo user. And that's, it's a really popular sport. It's in the Olympics and everything, yet somehow we've managed to neglect it up until now, so we're rectifying that. Another interesting thing about her you'll notice is that her left eye glows when she does certain moves. There's a good reason for that. It's an artificial eye that was given to her by SIN, the weapons manufacturer that is headed up by Seth, the last boss of Street Fighter 4. So she's definitely going to figure into the storyline as well in a big way, and maybe in some ways you might not expect. She's not necessarily a good guy. Yeah, we're quite pleased with the way both the focus attack system and the ultra combos came into being in Street Fighter 4. We think that they have fulfilled their roles. High level, if you look at tournaments and stuff, they're using it exactly as we designed it. They're using it similar to the parry function in Street Fighter 3, and they're staging some really cool counterattacks. So I think we definitely did that right. The ultra combos is kind of interesting because we had intended it to be used specifically to finish a match when someone's in trouble and make like a big comeback after they've taken a lot of damage. What we find is that people are using it for that, but they're also finding other ways to link it into combos or to deliberately take some damage, just to have a flashy ending to the fight, and doing some other stuff that we hadn't necessarily foreseen. So we do think that was a great addition as well. As for changes in this version, we'll be making some tweaks here and there. We feel that the systems themselves are strong, so we're not going to necessarily change them from the ground up. But we're definitely thinking of some very specific ways to alter and expand upon these systems. So as you remember, with Street Fighter 4, the whole reason behind the Sumie art was just a way to get across the idea of moving paintings, which was kind of the main visual concept of Street Fighter 4. So this is just kind of another take on that. We're still looking at the moving art sort of thing, but this time we've gone with a kind of a sketchy look. And there's a reason behind that, and that is, if you remember Super Street Fighter 2, some of the old artwork used to promote that, some of the old posters and stuff. There's an image of Akuma, and there's some of the other new characters, and they were all done with a very fine line and very kind of sketchy sort of look. So we're kind of trying to deliberately call that to mind. That was Super Street Fighter 2. This is Super Street Fighter 4. There's the commonality of the Super thing. As far as inserting it into the actual game itself, the problem with this sort of art style is it's so finely detailed that it's actually hard to make out on the screen. So you probably won't actually see it in the game itself as some sort of filter or something. That we've tried some experiments, but there are other places we can put it, in the interface and things like that. So you will probably see a similar look like that popping up somewhere in the game, but don't expect to necessarily see the graphics in the entire game based upon that. So it will be a full-on disc release. I do want to let you know, though, that the price of said disc will be appropriate to the content. It won't be a full-price game. I can't give you an exact figure right now because we're actually still working on finding a way to make it happen. But you will not be charged a full $60 for a game that of which you already own a large portion. I'll put it to you that way. As for release date, we're looking at spring of 2010. I'd like to get it in your hands as soon as possible so you can keep enjoying the Street Fighter 4 universe.